Ever wonder what our world is really going to look like in 2026? In this explainer, we're going to dive into the incredible technologies that are already building that future. And these aren't just pie-in-the-sky predictions. This stuff is happening right now.
So, what will the near future actually look and feel like? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer, well, it's way more interesting than you'd probably expect. And that's because the biggest changes aren't happening where we've all been trained to look. And that is the key. For the last decade or so, all the big innovation felt like it was centered on that little screen in your pocket. But now that's shifting. It's moving beyond our devices and embedding itself everywhere, into our physical environment, our core infrastructure, and yeah, even into our own biology. Okay, first up, let's talk about what we're calling the intelligent environment. This is all about how our physical world, I'm talking the materials we build with, the surfaces we see every day, is basically getting a software update. It's becoming dynamic, responsive, and smart. Think about it like this. For basically all of human history, we've built our world out of stuff that just sits there until it breaks. But now we're creating materials that can actually fix themselves. Imagine an airplane part that can patch tiny cracks while it's in the air, or a car coating from LG Chem that makes scratches vanish with just a little bit of heat. And this isn't just some niche lab experiment. Not at all. The market for these self-healing materials, it's on track to hit over $4 billion by 2027. That number tells you there's a huge global investment going into building a world that's just plain more durable and resilient. It's not just the materials themselves, it's our surfaces too. Companies like LG, Panasonic, and Samsung are all working on these incredible transparent displays that can turn pretty much any piece of glass into an interactive screen. This is that intelligent environment in action, technology that's just seamlessly part of our world, not another app we have to open. Okay, but how in the world do you manage an entire city or factory that's becoming this complex? Well, one of the key tools is something called a digital twin. It's exactly what it sounds like, a perfect, real-time virtual model of a physical thing, which lets us test, monitor, and optimize it without ever having to touch the real-world version. And they are absolutely already in use. Singapore has a digital twin of the entire country to help with urban planning. GE and Siemens use them to model their factories, to predict when machines will need maintenance. They were even used at the Tokyo Olympics to manage crowd flow. The prediction? By 2026, almost 70% of big industrial companies will be using them. And finally, this intelligent environment isn't just sitting still, it's on the move. We hear a ton about self-driving cars, but the real revolution is happening in logistics. We're talking autonomous drones making thousands of deliveries, massive cargo ships navigating the oceans with almost no crew, and self-driving trucks that are already running routes covering millions of miles. Right. So all of that smart infrastructure, from roads that fix themselves to ships that drive themselves, it all needs a super powerful and secure foundation to run on. And that brings us to our second big theme, the invisible backbone of data, security, and connectivity that's going to make this new world possible. But here's the flip side. As our world gets more connected, it also gets way more vulnerable. I mean, just look at this spike. Reported ransomware attacks in the US jumped by a staggering 74% in just 1 year. That's a huge threat to the very systems we're trying to build. So the response has to be a whole new kind of digital shield. We've got AI-powered security tools that are learning to spot threats as they happen. In looking down the road, people are already developing new encryption standards, built to withstand attacks from future quantum computers, which could, in theory, break all the encryption we use today.
You know, security isn't just about defense. It's also about trust. And this is where blockchain technology, yeah, the thing behind crypto, gets really interesting for the real world. Take Walmart. They use a blockchain to track produce all the way from the farm to the store shelf. It creates this unchangeable record that guarantees food safety. It's a perfect, totally practical use case. And the potential here is just enormous. Analysts think blockchain could add something like $1.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. And here's the really important part. Most of that value won't be from finance. It's going to come from things like verification, tracking, and building trust. The last piece of this invisible backbone is having connectivity everywhere. There's a new space race happening right now, with companies like SpaceX, Amazon, and others launching thousands of satellites to cover the entire globe with high-speed internet.
Starlink alone already has over 3 million subscribers, connecting people in places that were completely off the grid before. So this brings us to our final section, and maybe the most personal one, the human upgrade. After we've looked at the environment and the infrastructure, this is where technology starts to intersect directly with our own minds and our bodies. Let's start with how we learn. The old model, right? One teacher, 30 kids, everybody gets the same lesson. That's being seriously challenged. We're moving toward what you could call hyper-personalized education, where an AI acts as your own personal guide, changing its teaching style in real time based on how you learn best.
And this isn't some far-off idea. It's already here. Khan Academy has Khanmigo helping students with math and science, and Duolingo uses AI to give personalized language lessons to its 80 million monthly users. The AI tutor might soon be as common as a textbook. The connection between tech and our biology is getting even more direct. Neurotechnology is just moving at an incredible speed. I mean, we went from major research projects in 2023 to the first human brain chip implants in 2024. This whole field is quickly moving past just treating medical problems and heading towards a future of wellness and maybe even cognitive enhancement.
And this leads to what might be the most profound upgrade of all, synthetic biology. To put it simply, this is the point where we start applying engineering principles to life itself. We're designing and building new biological systems from scratch to solve some of our biggest challenges.
And the applications here are just revolutionary. We're talking about engineering microbes to create sustainable biofuels and plastics that actually biodegrade. We're talking about synthetic meat and reprogramming the mRNA tech that gave us the COVID vaccine to now go and fight cancer. It is truly transformative stuff.
So if you zoom out, the big takeaway is this. From roads that heal themselves, to AI tutors that know how you learn, to engineering life itself, the technologies of 2026 are blurring all the lines we used to take for granted. The line between physical and digital, between a tool and its user, and even between technology and life. This quote from our source material just nails it. Synthetic biology isn't just another tech trend. It represents one of the most fundamental shifts of our time, where we stop just observing life and we start designing it.
And that leaves us with a final and pretty massive question to think about. As all these technologies grow up, we're getting the power to engineer our environment, our intelligence, and even our own bodies. So, what does it even mean to be human in an age where we can actually redesign ourselves? Thanks for watching.